all hear me? Hello, and welcome to the Doctor Who random perfect ranking. So for tonight's live stream, which is going to be the same time length as yesterday's, we will be starting from 4 o'clock and ending at 8 p.m. with the help of the Magic Hat. Look at all those episodes in there. Look at all those. So I hope you can hear me. If you can, please let me know and I will fix that because I've had a little bit of difficulty with some of the hotkeys on here, so just let me know. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us on the final day of our charity live stream. Yesterday's one was very interesting. It took, 3 hours for me to get past one level. It was, very interesting. But very exciting, and we will do another Lion King challenge later on where I will pre-record it definitely because, I don't know if the rest of you who joined in and watched had Lion King afterwards or Hakuna Matata, what a wonderful phrase. But we also have, so sorry, I'm jumping about 2 steps ahead. But we also have the Fairs of All Knowledge. So in here are a few trivia questions which will be read out after every 5th video is selected. I'll probably start the stream with a trivia question so we can all get excited. But have you guys watched the latest episode? Have you seen Boom? If not, there will be possibly a spoiler chat. There won't be a full review, but I found out something earlier this afternoon that I didn't know had happened, so we will be discussing that. And so I hope you're all ready to be Doctor Who'd. I hope you're going to enjoy it. I'm really excited to just talk about Doctor Who stuff, and in preparation I'm wearing my Vincent van Gogh shirt because I don't have a Doctor Who one, and I thought this is probably the closest thing that I have, which is the Starry Night Sky and also the Pandorica Opens. I wonder if that's going to come out in the Magic Hat. I'm really excited. I'm so excited to see what episodes come out. I could have done a Wheel of Fortune on the internet, but I was halfway through doing this and it's a lot more fun and creative. Thank you very much, Anne and Frog Prince. I hope you enjoy the trivia. So let us start with the first trivia question. So drum roll. If that'll work. No, okay, that's fine. We're going to make up our own drum roll and pretend this is like the best technically advanced thing. So drum roll, please. Okay, so our first question is from the Magic Hat, or from the Fairs of All Knowledge. Really trying to get fingers in there. Okay. Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one. Okay. You ready? So, what were the curator's parting words to the Doctor? So this is from the 50th anniversary, and this is from the curator who's in the museum. So what were the curator's parting words to the Doctor? So put your answers into the chat and I will read them out. And now time for us. Oh no, wait, there isn't. Hang on a minute. I'm jumping a little bit ahead because I'm very excited. I will show you our very, very, very fancy tier list chart. Look how fancy that is. So as you can see, we have Simba, Aristocats, Oliver and Figaro. Simba is the top, Aristocats is the second, and Oliver and Figaro are third and fourth. By the way, if my volume is spiking, please, please, please let me know, because at the moment it's telling me that I'm constantly spiking. So I'm hoping that the sound's okay. Right, now time for our main event, our actual episode tier list. Drum roll, please. Oh, hello, Sally Shines as well. Glad to see you're here. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, what do we have here? We have the 50th anniversary, the Day of the Doctor. How well timed that is. There we go. Woo. Okay. So positives about it. Positive. Well, first of all, it was the one that brought David Tennant back out of semi-retirement. He came along and he played the 10th Doctor, of course. Would I say that was a strong 10th Doctor script? Probably not, but we'll go into that a little bit later on. You also had Tom Baker coming along, the original Doctor, or many people who fell in love with the series fell in love with Tom Baker's Doctor, and he's a voice that I grew up with as well, because I was brought up on Blackadder, so I was quite familiar with him in that one episode that he was in Blackadder. And what else? You also had the cinema. I didn't go and see it, unfortunately, at the cinema. I would have loved to, but I was away that weekend, and it was just a very big memento. It was the first, sci-fi series that had ever happened with that. At the time it was the longest, and it still is the longest. So negatives, I would say it wasn't a 10th Doctor accurate script. He's far too suave. So when he meets Clara, or when he says bye-bye to Clara, he kisses her hand, and it's just, hey. And it's, yeah, I know you're the pretty boy of the Whoniverse. I know that, and as when I very first got into Doctor Who, it was because I had a crush on David Tennant. Yeah, it's not very intellectual, very geeky, but it wasn't his character. I would say he's not a very suave character. He's still very geeky. So for me, I'd say that's a Stephen Moffat trying to put in what he would like the Doctor to be. He kind of does that with Sherlock a little bit. He tries to make Sherlock this rambunctious, suave, sophisticated James Bond type womanizer a little bit, with Irene Adler as trying to sex it up a bit. But that was never David Tennant's Doctor. David Tennant's Doctor was always just being the Doctor at his core. So I would say that was a weaker part of the script. And probably my biggest thing of it wasn't true to David Tennant's Doctor, even though Stephen Moffat has written for David Tennant's Doctor and would have done if if David Tennant had not stepped aside. What else? You also have the War Doctor. Now we know why the War Doctor is in place, and John Hurt is a fabulous actor. No doubt about that, but because of obviously the politics surrounding Christopher Eccleston and his return to Doctor Who, he couldn't do the 9th Doctor. And slightly controversial, but I would have personally preferred Paul McGann to have stepped in and to have had a proper chance at being the Doctor, because we only saw his Doctor for one thing. And I've seen him a few times when I've been to Comic-Con, and he is quite invested within the fandom, and obviously he's did Jodie Whittaker's last episode, and there is speculation that his own series is going to be produced by Disney Plus and the BBC. So I would have preferred to see Paul McGann rather than sort of trying to shoehorn in another Doctor. However, this is the Doctor Who timeline. It's very timey-wimey. There are also Doctors that we have not met yet that have come from William Hartnell's era. So there's always that thing that there are more. It isn't just a linear 1, 2, at the time would have been 11. However, John Hurt was very good in it. I've forgotten their names as well. But the big bad of... they're in the... I did an episode on it. This is not good. So the enemy that they had, the Daleks. Yes, you've got to have the Daleks on the 50th, but I just wasn't so keen on the other villains that they had. And the name will come to me probably by the end of the stream, and it'll be... That's what it was. Is it the Sycorax? No, it's not the Sycorax. The Silo. If someone can let me know in the chat, that would be great. That would be great. But I wasn't so keen on them as a villain. I think we could have had a better one, a bigger one. Possibly, I wouldn't say the Weeping Angels, because they can be... Oh no, not again. But I think they have that presence more, and that shockability, or that eeriness, sorry, I should say, that Stephen Moffat does so well, and very few writers have gotten that right within Who, and you can see that his influence of gothic horror came out with the Weeping Angels, so I think they could have been a good one. Plus, there are several theories that say that the Time Lords are Weeping Angels, or that weeping angels are fallen Time Lords, hence why they can manipulate time, hence why they kill their victims in kindness, as in they send them back in time, they manipulate time. And that would have been a good thing to explore, because we still don't fully know where the weeping angels have come from, and the Doctor herself was turned into a weeping angel. That was possibly the strongest weeping angel episode that we've had since Blink. So they are around, and that could have been an awesome way to explore them. However, another positive is obviously Tom Baker, which I said is Tom Baker. You know, you can't deny Tom Baker. So where do we put this? I'm thinking either would I put this in Simba, or would I put this in Aristocat level? I don't think it's an Oliver. It's definitely not a Figaro. But I would say it's between Simba and Aristocats. I'm going to put this in the Aristocat tier just because of my sort of grievances with David Tennant not actually being the 10th Doctor. It was a lot more socially awkward, and that wasn't captured in the 50th anniversary, so I'm going to put that down for Aristocat. Oh, we have our first tier. Yay. So do you all agree that that's going in Aristocat tier? So I'll put that there. Then at the end we'll go through like the tier list and stuff. Okay, time for another one. Drum roll, please. We should really have the what have we got here? Ooh, Forest of the Dead. Ooh. Series 4, Episode 9. Forest of the Dead. This is another David Tennant one. Okay. So, Silence is in the Library is the first episode. So this is part 2, where Donna meets her love interest. I'm going to double check because I don't want to say, yes, it's that one. And like, no, it's not. So what do we know about like the two-parters as a whole? Two-parters as a whole is where we first meet River Song. And then River Song, as we know, played a extremely important part within the Doctor's timeline. Very, very, very important. So, particularly with Matt Smith, so that we remember. So 4. Science and Library, Forest of the Dead. Yep, it is part 2. Cool, I was right. Okay, so positives about this one is we delve more into Donna's story. And she has this lovely moment where she meets her soulmate, I would say. And they have this lovely life together and they build it up. And heartbreakingly, it gets snatched away from her. And then you have that moment in the library where Donna says, oh, does all right mean not all right? Because I'm all right too. And then as she leaves, he tries to call to her, but because he has a bad stammer, he just and it's, oh my gosh, this is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. It is so sad. It's so sad, but very well written. Has very much, sorry, I'm now getting warm. It's very much a lot of tropes of Stephen Moffat's. So if you've seen Boom, this is from yesterday. So it was launched on BBC iPlayer yesterday. You'd have seen that there was a heck of a lot of Stephen Moffat tropes in that, and you could kind of first see it here as well. You had the Vashta Narada as well with, hey, who turned out the lights? So that's a positive as well. Hey, who turned out the lights? And the wibbly wobbly timey-wimey thing with the computer being the granddaughter of the archaeologist. I need to remember all the names, so I might have to have an IMDb thing. What else would you say is a positive? Because I liked it's a forest and it's a library, and a library is one of the biggest forests that you can go into because books are made out of trees and paper, etc. And so you have the spirits of the forest in there, which is really cool. I like that, and it's a clever play on word. And clever play on description. Weaker points of it. I'm trying to think of the weaker points, because I don't know if I'd still put that in Simba tier. It's a good episode. It's a very good episode, and it's a very, very good two-parter. It's excellent. But why is it stopping me from putting it into a Simba tier? That's the main question. I do feel sorry for Miss Evangelise. Yeah, it is Evangelise, isn't it? I feel very sorry for her. And she's stupid because of her beauty. Don't know if I'd say that's the right thing to do. But then you also have Donna Noble has left the library. Donna Noble is saved. Donna Noble has left the library. Donna Noble has been saved. And that's very eerie, especially during the first part, the silence in the library. Oh, come on. Let's think of some negatives for it. Because it's not quite The Empty Child. And for me, The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances are definitely Simba tier. Spoilers if that comes up, by the way. I'm hoping we don't all get David Tennant. Because the thing is that I won't change the tier. So if there's an episode that comes up that should be, in a different tier, or I don't know. Right, because I'm hesitating, and because it's stopping me and I'm thinking, it's not as good as The Empty Child. It's still very eerie, and I still like the, hey, who turned out the lights? Hey, who turned out the lights? And the skull coming through the glass. It doesn't quite capture my imagination as much as The Empty Child or Blink. So I'm going to put this in Aristocats. I'm going to have another think about it while I put that in. And actually, why don't we talk about River Song, the Doctor's wife. Do we think she is going to come back to meet Ncuti? Or the 15th Doctor? Do we think that could be a possibility? Because she's had that final meal with the Doctor, the one that she saw him for the last time. But then because it's River Song's timeline, you can be a little bit more expandable, shall we say? You can bend it. And because it is Doctor Who, it's timey-wimey, it's not necessarily linear. Could she have met the Doctor in that form? You know, it would be a good combination as well. Missy and River Song. That could be like the fight of the divas. But because Stephen Moffat's come back on board to write. Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, possibly. I can see that happening. I could see that because at the moment the new Doctor's very cool and very suave. And though there may not be a romantic interest between the two, I think they could have a lot of fun just being quite sassy with each other, and I think this Doctor could be quite sassy. So yeah, that would actually be quite cool. I hope they can find a way to bring her back, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear she's met the 9th Doctor in an audio drama. I swear she has. So if she can meet 9, and she has all the Doctor's faces illustrated in her diary, I think she can meet 15. I think. So we'll come back to that. I've definitely left it an Aristocat tier. And I will remember the names of some of these. So let's do another one. And then we'll talk about why we're here for Cat's Protection as well, because I got so excited. I forgot to say why we're here. Oh, we've got another black one. So I have colour-coded these as well. So black is Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant. Blue is Matt Smith. Orange is Peter Capaldi. Purple is Jodie Whittaker. Bright pink is 15, David Tennant. And neon is 14 and 15 is neon. What do we have here? Ooh, midnight. Midnight. Okay, this is a Donna Light episode, as in we don't get to see the companion a lot. This is all of the Doctor in one location, trapped. And there is a invisible enemy outside as they go and see the planet Midnight. Oh, this is a good one. Oh, because they have the repeating. And it has... what's her name? So before Ricky Gervais's Afterlife, there was another series called Afterlife, which has an actress in it called Alison. I think her name's Alison. I'm going to have to look it up. If you like Doctor Who and you like ghost supernatural stuff, you will love Afterlife. It was produced by ITV. Also has the actor from Walking Dead. This was one of his very first roles, and I would highly recommend it. So what's her name? She's also in Leslie Sharp, that's it, not Alison. Leslie Sharp, that's it, she's in it. Andrew Lincoln from Walking Dead. This was one of his very, very, very first roles. So it's very good and I would highly recommend it. So anyway, Leslie plays a recently single woman who then becomes possessed by whatever this entity is on the train to go and see Midnight. And it's very, very creepy and it's very well done. And it also shows what happens in an emergency and how people who can suddenly go from strangers to enemies. And it's clever how that's done, because at first everybody seems to get along with each other. There, the doctor's going from one selection of couples to another, talking and getting to know them. And then once everything starts to stop and everything goes wrong, everybody then starts to turn on each other. And that companionship, that that being with each other, helping each other, it vanishes, it goes. And this thing that's then inside Leslie starts to repeat. So positives would be it's very atmospheric, it's very well done for a limited set, which is literally just a train with a few commuters. The atmosphere is very well done. I can't remember much of the music in it, and that's brilliant because you don't need that, because it's relying on the acting and directing and writing. So, negatives. The only thing I would say about the negatives is that the CGI has kind of gone down a little bit, but hey, this is, 16 years ago, so obviously a lot has changed, and now because of Disney Plus's money, the graphics are going to get better and better and better. So I'd probably say that would be the thing, and possibly the set design as well isn't so great. But we're not there for that. We're there for this thing that we still don't actually know what it is. So that could be quite a cool episode or idea if maybe Russell T Davies went back and explored it. But I think as well, you don't want to overdo it. And you don't want it to be like the Weeping Angels where it's, oh no, not again, because it loses its memento. But it's a fantastic episode, really wonderfully well written. Obviously, I'm going to say David Tennant is brilliant in it, but he is brilliant in it. He's very, very well acted, very well performed. And at the end as well, where Donna repeats, because he goes, oh, molto bene. She replied, molto bene. He said, don't do that because of what's happened. So I think Midnight, there we go. Midnight is going to be our very first Simba tier. Oh dear, my light's going again. This is what happened yesterday. It got overheated. Hang on, let me just sort that out, because that's... No, okay, so we're going to have to be... We've now dropped him down into the mood now a little bit, because Midnight is... Right, so anyone who missed that whilst I was sorting out my camera, we have our very first Simba tier, which is Midnight. Okay, so... Whilst I let my light cool down, let me see if I can just... So I'm not completely in shadow. But hey, it's Doctor Who, we're allowed to be in shadow a bit. So let's talk about briefly why we're here. Why Cats Protection and why I'm doing this. So if you missed yesterday's stream, I was talking about, for me, this is a way to say thank you. Thank you for giving me my lovely kittens that I adopted when I was 9 and 10. And they gave me some of the best memories that I've had, and I treasure those memories. When they went to the Cats Protection, they weren't in the greatest of health. And then through their time and care, the Cats Protection looked after them and they were healthy and they could come and live with us, we could adopt them. And I had some wonderful, wonderful memories and experiences with them. So this is my way to say thank you for doing that, and thank you for taking care of the cats that do come into your care, and all the ferals as well. So it isn't just domestic cats that the Cats Protection look after, it's also feral cats as well, to make sure that their health is okay and they're looked after as well. So this is just a little thank you to say, yeah, thank you for my kittens. So yes, and now we're going to go back to the hat. So we've got two episodes left until we pull out another trivia question. I will try my absolute best not to get a David Tennant one. We've got, oh my gosh, we've got 3. Stop it! I'm trying my best. Hang on, I'm looking. What have we got here? We've got a purple. Got our purple one. The Power of the Doctor. There we go. Yay! So this was Jodie Whittaker's last one. And this is also where David Tennant made his comeback as the 14th Doctor. So what are the positives about it? This was probably one of Jodie's strongest episodes. And it was also the episode that I felt that the Master fully stepped in. So, played by Sacha Dhawan, this was his moment. This is where he came out and shone. Whereas before that, it's always a moment where there's a part in Doctor Who where you're waiting for the Doctor, for the new Doctor to be, yes, you are them. And for me, this was the Master's time. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll see Sacha again as the Master, which is a real shame because I think he did really well, especially when he did the Rasputin dance. And he's building up, and then he puts it on and it starts with do, 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 do. And he does the Rasputin dance. And I missed that. I missed that sort of campiness that the series had been missing, because you saw it with John Sims' Master, where he was up in the sky and had Scissor Sisters playing, and also here come the drums, here come the drums. And I think it needed that as well. The problem with introducing Sacha, not that it was Sacha's fault, it's just the writing didn't keep up with what had previously happened. I think it was possibly they had a similar problem with WandaVision, that none of the writers could watch. No, it wasn't WandaVision. Sorry, it was the last Doctor Strange. So the last Doctor Strange film, the writers couldn't watch WandaVision because there would be spoilers as to what happened to Wanda. So I was trying to remember her name, Scarlet Witch. And then with that, you had a story that was like 3 episodes behind, and Wanda had already resolved that issue, but it hadn't been resolved in the film because the production staff weren't allowed to watch it. And I think it was the same with this as well, that Sacha and the Doctor, they didn't have that connection that was built up from the Doctor and Missy, and B, they could have had an exchange where it was, oh, so you're trying to be a girl for now. Oh, I tried it and it was, or something like that from the Master, but it was just, oh, it's the Master, he's cruel, and it's just, but you built a relationship with Missy, so why aren't you building on that? And I think that was one of the biggest problems that you had with Sacha Dhawan's Master, is that they should have really let the actors and the writers look back at Doctor Who, not to take the same sort of storyline, but just so that you know what's happened. And it is important as well, because otherwise it just doesn't make any sense from a storytelling perspective. But anyway, so I'd say Master, for that, really well done. You also had the very first companion at the meeting, who has now earned a Guinness World Record for that, because they are now the longest serving companion. And it is, oh, what's the actor's name? See, you can see how well prepared I have been for this. So Doctor Who, Doctor Who first assistant. There's a lot of history to remember as well. So it wasn't Susan. Who was it? Because I know who his son is, which isn't the point though. We want to know who the actor is. So, Ian Chesterton, that's it. And he was William Russell's very first companion. There we go. As one of the teachers of Susan Foreman, who is the Doctor's granddaughter. So he made an appearance, and that was really nice. I liked that. I liked how there was a support group for those who had been left behind by the Doctor and still wanted to travel but couldn't really talk about their experiences with anyone. So I liked that. I thought that was very well done. There were a few moments with Graham suddenly turning up in a volcano to rescue Ace. That wasn't properly explained. So where the heck have you come from? And Graham I could never really warm to. I like Bradley Walsh. I just don't think he was a strong enough actor for Doctor Who. But I've still really liked this episode, and I think it was one of Jodie Whittaker's best as well. I think she did a good job in it, even though it was the final episode. Unfortunately with Jodie, and it's the same with Peter Capaldi, they became the Doctor too late for me. So with Peter Capaldi, it was his final season that it was, yeah, okay, I trust you as the Doctor now. And for Jodie, they just kept going backwards and forwards with the writing, and it was just, I don't know. It's like, you should know, you're the Doctor sort of thing. So again, it's not Jodie Whittaker's fault. It's very much the writing that let the character down. So, but we will go into that a little bit more. I'll do a video on the channel because I would like to watch her series again and sort of analyse it properly, because yeah, she was just given a bit of a rough thing, because her Weeping Angels episode is honestly brilliant. I absolutely love it. It's very gothic, and Kevin McNally is one of the best companions that the Doctor never had. So he's in there with Sally Sparrow, but where do I put this? Because already the Aristocats is getting full. We have 2 Aristocats, but then you do have David Tennant at the end. And that's a Simba moment. Because as well, it's the first time that the Doctor has regenerated with a brand new set of clothes, and that never happened before, and it was all new. And she did have a good parting line of, "Tag, you're it," which was so much better than Matt Smith's. Matt Smith's was just, "Hey," and then regenerated. He's been my least favourite regeneration, even though he's my second favourite Doctor. They didn't give Matt Smith the goodbye that he deserves. So anyway, Simba or Aristocats? Because I don't think this should be Oliver. I don't think it should be Figaro. Ugh. Master is a Simba. Oh, what do I do? Or am I getting mixed up? Or am I getting mixed up? No, I'm not getting mixed up. No, I'm not. I was thinking I'm getting my episodes mixed up. Because I definitely want to make sure that it is the right one I'm thinking of, but it is. Because he's Rasputin. And it's my favourite Master Dance. And David Tennant. Simba is going in the Simba tier. We have 2 Simbas. So at the moment we have 2 Simbas and 2 Aristocats. So we have 4 episodes. And now drumroll please. Very high tech, very high tech. What do we have here? We have the Battle of Ranskor Avkolas. No idea if I pronounced that right. Season 11, episode 10. This is a Jodie Whittaker. And I'm going to admit, I don't think I've actually seen this. I can't remember it. When I was writing these down as well. So I really can't remember this. And it has the Sontarans in it, which admittedly then... I liked Drax when it was Madame Vastra and Drax and Jenny. I liked that. So, I don't know. I don't know, because I think it'd be unfair for me to put this in a bottom tier if I've never seen it, so I can't really make a good judgment of it. Or if I have seen it, then I clearly can't remember it. I honestly can't remember this one, and it's annoying because I want to say I have watched it, because I did do a catch-up of it a few years ago. And I swear I watched the rest of Jodie Whittaker's seasons or series or episodes. And I honestly cannot remember this. So I can't give it a good breakdown unless if I have seen it, it didn't really last with me very long. It wasn't even a dislike. Unfortunately, this will have to go in a Figaro. And then I'll come back to it. Or should I come back to it and do it on a different tier rank? What's the best one to do? I'll put it in Figaro for now, and then we will come back to it at a later episode. So we have our first Figaro. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's also time for another trivia question. And also, has anyone guessed what were the creator's parting words to the Doctor in the 50th anniversary special? Because that one we still need an answer for that one. I know the answer to it, but do you know the answer? Okay, so let's try. I will try my light again in a minute as well. Oh, it's a weeping angel. There's a weeping angel in here. Never know. Okay, what question do we have now? What question? Oh, this is a big one. Oh, blimey, this is. I think I wrote a novel here. I wrote a novel. Okay, are you ready? Because there is a link to it, and there is a link to cats as well. So, as we know, Freddie Mercury was one of the most infamous cat dads. He loved and adored his cats. So, this has a link to Doctor Who and Freddie Mercury. So, name the Queen music video that was referenced in the Christmas Invasion, and name the Queen song that is played at Amy and Rory's wedding. So I'll repeat that again. Name the Queen music video that was referenced in the Christmas Invasion, and name the Queen song that is played at Amy and Rory's wedding. And it has the very famous, one of my favourite Matt Smith's moments is where he dances like that. He's meant to dance like a giraffe. And it's meant, and I think the script read that he is an appallingly bad dancer. So that's your question. That is the second trivia question. I'm just going to turn up this light, see if it... Okay. Yeah. That's a little bit better. There we go. I'm not so in darkness now. Okay. So we've had 2 questions from the Fez of all knowledge. I'm thinking, do we discuss Boom yet? Or do we wait? I'm thinking. Because I would really like to quickly go over some of the points. I'll wait for a little while. Maybe do 2 more episodes. And then we will go to Boom and Stephen Moffat's return to the Whooniverse. Okay. Here we go. It's our next one. Next one. Oh. This is a Peter Capaldi one, and this is Peter Capaldi's final episode. The Doctor Falls. Or is kind of. This is the episode before he regenerates. And this is also another 2-parter. This was, for me, Peter Capaldi's best series as the Doctor, so I'm just going to move that down a little bit. So that for me was the best series that he had. Bill Potts is a companion that doesn't get anywhere near the recognition that she deserves. I thought Bill was an awesome companion. I really liked Bill a lot, and I think she did a very good job. And I liked Thingy-me-bob. You know who I'm being. Nardle. Him. Matt Lucas, there we go. I really liked Matt Lucas as a companion as well. I wasn't too sure how he would be at the beginning, and then I really warmed to him and I liked the character. And this is a very, very strong episode because you also have the Master and Missy and their plan to bring back the Cybermen and coming back into place. You also have a slight clash between the Master and Missy as well, because at this point the Doctor has tried to rehabilitate Missy, so she's no longer as villainous as her sort of counterparts are, or were, I should say. John Sim, I don't think he was as good as he was previously when he very first played the Master. I think it's a slightly weaker performance. But Michelle Gomez as Missy is very well done. And I think her and Peter Capaldi had a wonderful, wonderful chemistry. And you really believed that the Doctor wanted to do well by Missy. He didn't want to let her down. He did want to build up that friendship, a friendship that I think has been there since Ten's Doctor, when he tried to reach out for the Master. And I think this was like that attempt. Okay. And Bill as well, because she's been turned into a Cyberman. But she still kept the emotions of humanity, and that's quite a sad thing, because she wonders, she can't see what she looks like, or she doesn't recognise herself or something. And she wonders why people are running away from her. And that's really, really sad, very, very heartbreaking. Oh, because Aristocats here is kind of getting full. So how many do we have in Aristocats? We have 1, 2, this will be 3. So what I plan to do is to put 5 in each tier. So, would I say it's an Oliver or an Aristocat? Because there is one Peter Capaldi episode that will be in Simba if it gets selected. And if you know your Whovian, then you'll know. I'm going to put that in Aristocats. Just because, as well, I get a little bit confused about what the plan is, what's happening with the Cybermen. But to be fair, I hadn't seen the first part of it for a very long time, so I went into it a little bit. I have no idea what's going on. This is brilliant, but I have no idea what's going on. So I'm going to put that in Aristocats. Aristocats. Okay. So we now have 3 in Aristocats. 1 in Figaro and 2 in Simba. And, sorry, what does chat say? Will Torchwood come back? I haven't heard anything. There was a little bit of a Twitter argument between John Barrowman and Eve Miles, because she said something. She was asked, "Oh, will Torchwood come back?" And it was something along the lines of, "You never say never, or you never know." And John Barrymore just started this weird spat. I think they've made up now, but I think he was in a very, very, very bad place when this was all happening, and possibly felt left out, that if there had been any talks about the Torchwood return, then why hadn't he been involved? But that's as much as I know. I don't know whether they'll bring back Torchwood, because there's a lot there story-wise that's never been fully explored. So you have the missing Torchwood branch, you have the Torchwood branch in Scotland. It's either in Glasgow or Edinburgh, and it's above an HSBC bank, and it's just an office filled with boxes that's maintained by one man. There's also the Torchwood that was destroyed. So there's 2 in London, I believe, that were destroyed. There's obviously the one that was destroyed in Doomsday and Army of Ghosts at Canary Wharf, and there's another one, I believe, that was destroyed by a cave-in the underground. So I think it used to run in an abandoned underground station, but I don't think that's there anymore. And then obviously you have Torchwood in Cardiff, which is no longer there. That was destroyed in Children of Earth. If it were to come back, then it would definitely be a Disney Plus series, and it'll probably have tons of money and tons of bits thrown in, but we will see. I haven't heard anything yet. I think there's some audio dramas coming out with Gwen. I haven't heard anything more about that, but if there are any future Torchwood stories coming out, then they will be through the audio drama rather than through Bad Wolf and BBC Productions. So, but if I see or hear anything, I will let you know, either on YouTube, the Instagram account, or TikTok. There will be on there if I hear anything. I do keep a lookout. Because, yeah, I would really like to see it. Children of Earth was a fantastic mini-series. Very well done. Again, it shows humanity not in the greatest light when push comes to shove, and it's very heartbreaking. It also has Katie Wicks in it, which, if you've seen BBC's Ghosts, you will know her as Mary, and she plays Yanto's sister. And that's the very first time I saw Katie Wicks, and it was, oh, it's Yanto's sister. So she's in it as well. So if you like Katie Wicks and like Ghosts, then you can check her out in that. Also, Peter Capaldi crops up in there as well, because there was a huge thing when 12 regenerated into Peter Capaldi. He was like, wait a minute, he's already been in the universe twice. He was in Pompeii and he was in Torchwood, and it was, yes, but this is a face. Sometimes you pick a face where you have to remember something. So, okay, right, we've got another episode to rank. Which one is this? The Giggle. The Giggle with the toy maker in it, and Neil Patrick Harris dancing to the Spice Girls. La 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 la. So there we go, that's The Giggle. Interesting. Okay. Da, da, da. So out of the 60th, this was my favourite. And I wish the toy maker had been in it more from the very start. I wish they'd had him at the very beginning. And I don't know if you've seen or saw my video regarding The One Who Waits. So this is possibly who the big bad is of the new season. I don't think this is a spoiler, but if it is, spoiler for episode 2, The Devil's Cord. So anyway, as I was absolutely Simba, I'm just getting Simba for the giggle for Neil Patrick Harris. So I think Toymaker is apparently a favourite in the chat. But when I was looking up trivia questions for this, and I wanted to relook at the giggle scene, when the Doctor challenges the Toymaker, he says, "The One Who Waits, there was a game that I did not play, and that was The One Who Waits." And the Doctor says, "Oh, who's that?" He said, that's someone else's game. And then it's left. And I completely forgot about it until I watched the clip again today. And it was, oh, hang on a minute, but that was referenced by, Maestro. And they referenced it. And they said the one who waits is almost ready or something, that the one who's waiting is nearly ready. And they are the child of the Toymaker. So there's something there, and there's also, I don't know if this is a link. This could just be me overthinking it and overanalyzing it. But the Toymaker said that I gambled with God and I made him into a jack-in-the-box. And Maestro's episode was called The Devil's Cord. So these two characters who are linked have also made theological references. So this has got to be linked somehow to the big bad. And there's also the actress Shirley Twist, who's now cropped up in all of the episodes of the new season so far. So she has to be something to do with it. And I think this link has something to do with it as well. Whether we are going into possibly a theological war, it could well happen, because the Doctor is quite often referenced as the lonely god, and religion is very much played within Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat's tenure as the Doctor. One of my dissertations that I did for my course was on religion and Doctor Who, and there is a lot in there about it. So it would be interesting if this is the War of Wars sort of thing. And Russell T Davies has referenced biblical stories. He also wrote a drama with Christopher Eccleston as the second coming or the third coming sort of thing. So he has that interest there, and it wouldn't surprise me if this was a big war that was happening, that was going to happen. However, I'm possibly over-analysing it, I'm possibly overthinking it, and possibly hoping that it's going to be like Good Omens. And you're going to get Aziraphale and Ezekiel coming, or Crowley, sorry, coming in. And that would be awesome, but that's not going to happen. Even in the biggest fan fictions, it's just David Tennant's going to come back to Doctor Who and he's just going to live in the Whoniverse. But anyway, back to the point in hand, the giggle. The giggle. So what else do you have? You also had Donna. Donna was there. I really liked Donna in that episode as well. And Neil Patrick Harris was brilliant. And I loved the set. The set was so gorgeous when they did the challenge. And the Doctor and Donna were on trial. And it was on the stage and it looked like a Punch and Judy show. And then you had the morbid gothic looking puppets coming out. The black and white TV. It was such a good episode. And I do wish the toy maker had been in it from the very start. And this was his story. And it was similar to the 3-parter for the Masters Regeneration, when we had that, where it was Utopia, Last of the Time Lord, or Sound of Drums, and then Last of the Time Lords. I do wish they'd done that for the 60th, because that would have been perfect. 10 out of 10, or 14 out of 14. So, do we make this another Simba? Another Simba because of Neil Patrick Harris being Neil Patrick Harris. And he's also a magician as well, so I'm pretty sure the card tricks that the toy maker was doing would have been his hand. You also had Ncuti Gatwa appear as well, and he's been strong from the start. And I like that, I admire that a lot. And it didn't feel unnatural to have a bi-regeneration. I'd heard of it, I'd heard of rumours saying, oh right, there's going to be a universe where there's 2 Doctors, as in David Tennant will still be there as 15 and Ncuti Gatwa will be there as... Sorry, David Tennant will be there as 14 and Ncuti Gatwa will be there as 15. And it still doesn't feel unnatural that that's happening, even though it has left a massive sort of... So there is a chance that David Tennant could come back. And I think Russell T Davies has possibly written himself into a slight corner there. Even though he said on, 10's story is done, that part of the Doctor's story is done. They've still left that door massively wide open. And they're still referencing Gallifrey's Lost, and there's still elements of it being like the Time War. But anyway, because that was the strongest one, let's put that in Simba. So we now have 3 in Simba, 3 Simba, and 3 Aristocats. Yeah. And yeah, the set was just gorgeous on that one. Really, really well done. Very well done. So just to give a quick rundown of what we have so far. So our 3 in the top tier so far, we have Midnight, The Power of the Doctor, and The Giggle. In Aristocrat tier so far, we have the 50th anniversary, The Day of the Doctor. We also have The Doctor Falls with Peter Capaldi. And we also have Forest of the Dead, where River Song is there and she saves herself into the library's computer. Nothing in Oliver so far. And 1 in Figaro. So we have 2 spots left in both Simba and Aristocats before that gets full. We have 5 slots left in Oliver, and we have 4 slots left in Figaro. So now time for another one. Da 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 dun dun yan dun dun da 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 da. One's just fallen out. Yan dun dun da 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 dun dun. Oh, The Woman Who Lived, series 9, episode 6. So this is a Peter Capaldi one, and it's one that I can't really remember, so I will have to do a quick IMDb check. This would also be with Clara. Oh, yes, so this is where Maisie Williams' story comes in, and I should really remember the character, but Maisie Williams' character, I think this is where she catches up with the Doctor, and she goes over her life and she explains that living for eternity is awful because she's lost her family several times. She's lost children to the plague, she's lost children or her family in separate ways. Because you often think, oh, what would it be like to live eternally, to have never-ending life? And it does pose a good question of what would that look like. And although it is very macabre, a very macabre outlook, it is one that is actually quite poignant because it's something that you don't necessarily think of. So, she's the Deadly Highway woman, known as the Nightmare. Now, whenever I think of that, I think of Blackadder because I'm very old. Clearly more than human here. Right, now, here's the thing. I remember bits of it, but I can't remember all of it. And the bits that I remember are probably the most powerful. So I might say that this is possibly the first Oliver tier, just because there are moments that it was just, that worked very well. But the episode itself didn't really have a lasting effect on me. And the fact that I've had to look it up on IMDb to sort of confirm that, yes, this is the one that I'm thinking of. I do think it will be an Oliver tier. Because I know she's out there with Clara. She's in the TARDIS with Clara. And because I said, Clara's 1 second away from death, her timeline's out of sync or something. So they're going forever, travelling around time and the universe in their own TARDIS, which looks very much like the first Doctor's TARDIS, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to put this in Oliver. So that's our very first Oliver one, is Series 9, Episode 6, The Woman Who Lived. So there we go. That's our very first. So we have one in Oliver now. Okay. I don't know why I'm... what have we got here? Oh, hang on. Right. This could be a David Tennant or a Christopher Eccleston. I can just see black ink coming through. It is Army of Ghosts, Series 2, Episode 12. Okay, this is the fight at Canary Wharf. This is the start of it. This is before we go into Doomsday. This is also where you had the cool special appearances from Barbara Windsor telling Dirty Den to get out of that pub. And then Derek Acora said, nobody needs me anymore. There's all ghosts everywhere. And Trisha, he's my ghost and I love him. So, and then you also had, Torchwood. This is our very, very first sight of Torchwood in London. And, yes, this is interesting. Because it's the build-up, and it's a very good build-up. And I remember it, and I remember just, oh my gosh. And the ending with the Daleks coming out of the sphere, because the Cybermen are the ghosts, and the Daleks come out the sphere. And you have that really good twist at the end. It's just, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Oh, right, this is Tard. Only because Simba's getting full, and we only have 2 spaces left for Simba. Aristocats is also getting full, but there's a few spots that I want to leave out there for Simba, if they do come out of the hat. Because this one doesn't have the Doomsday score in it, which then sparked off or started the Doctor Who albums that came out annually. It also started the Doctor Who proms, which, by the way, is coming back this year. If you've bought tickets, please let me know, because I'd be really, really interested to hear how it goes. But yes, the Doctor Who prom is coming back to the Royal Albert Hall. And so that's Doomsday, but the Army of Ghosts sets it up, and it does set it up very well. You also have the parallel universe lot seeping through as well. Oh, tough. Ooh, Simba or Aristocats. The reason why I'm going to put it in Aristocats and not Simba is because it doesn't have the Doomsday score in it. If I'd have left it as a two-parter with Army of Ghosts and Doomsday included on the paper, then absolutely it would have gone in there in Simba, absolutely. But I'm going to put this in Aristocats just because it doesn't have the Doomsday score, plus Rose and the Doctor's goodbye on Bad Wolf Bay, which still makes me cry, so I couldn't watch it when I was reviewing it recently. Just, no, I refuse, I can't. So now we have that. I might need to get a different pen. Aristocats, okay. So we have one episode left for the Aristocat tier. So this is where Love and Monsters comes into it, and then just okay. What have we got? Yeah, we've got another black one. Which one's this one? Season 1, Episode 13, The Parting of the Ways. Ooh, okay, this is a good one as well. Dang, because this is where Christopher Eccleston regenerates and David Tennant comes in. And you have... Oh, gosh, this is hard now. Ah, yes. So the first part is where Nine finds himself in Big Brother. Rose is playing the weakest link, and Jack is having a makeover with Trini and Susanna, who, if you're not aware at the time, they were fashion gurus on the BBC, and they would just say, oh, don't wear that, that looks horrible, sort of thing. So Jack's there, and then the second part is when they're getting ready to take down the Daleks, because the Daleks have been running Station 5, I believe, or the television station, the Daleks have been running it. And it's been all streamed. Right. Oh, because I'm going to get mixed up between The Parting of the Ways and The Bad Wolf. Oh. There's lots of oohs now coming through because it's getting harder. So it's just, oh yes, there's plenty of room for Simba. I honestly thought there wouldn't be that many Simbas sort of coming through. But there are. And yeah, we only have one more space left for an Aristocat. But it's Christopher Eccleston's final episode. And you also have, yes, because Rose gets sent back, doesn't she, to go and be with Jackie. The Doctor sends her back. And then Jackie comes along with the tow truck to get the TARDIS to open. And Rose looks into the heart of the TARDIS, and then they have that powerful kiss, which then makes the Doctor regenerate. Okay, why would I put this in Aristocat level? Why would I put this in Simba level? Christopher Eccleston is definitely a Doctor that the older that I've grown, the more that I've enjoyed him and his stories. I think he's had some of the best stories in Doctor Who. So you had The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances, you have Father's Day, I think is a powerful episode. You also have the two-parters. You also have the lighter episodes, which I really like World War III, Boomtown, The Aliens in London. They're episodes that wouldn't necessarily be at the top, but there's something about them that I still really enjoy, even though the Slovene, in today's comparison, and obviously quite rapidly, once the budget had increased, I'd say that the Slovenes do look very tacky, but there's still something quite charming about them. I don't know if that's the right word, but something quite unique about them and enjoyable. And I really like the episode, even though it is just about aliens who are too big to fit into human skins, so they have compressed gas and they fart. But that's not... because he is a good Doctor, and it's very, 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 very annoying because this isn't summing up the whole series, it's summing up this one episode. But if you were to say if the Empty Child or the Doctor Dances were to come up, would that then beat this? The parting of the ways. Oh, because he does... I do love his final words. And without Christopher Eccleston, you wouldn't have Doctor Who now. And I know there is a massive rift between him and Russell T Davies and the production company, hence why he won't step in front of the camera as the Ninth Doctor, but he's very happy to do the audio drama because there was a lot of politics in there. I'm gonna... Because what else happens? Because you do have Rose's speech where she says, you know, there's so much more to life, and he showed me that. And then Jackie going for the tow truck. It is a good scene. But is it Simba level? Is it Simba level? It is a very difficult choice for our Prince. It is indeed. Very hard. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put it to you, to chat. What would you say makes it a Simba level, or what would make it an Aristocat level? Because there's episodes that I know I'm hoping that will come out, and I don't want to oversaturate either Simba or Aristocats. This is definitely not an Oliver or a Figaro episode. Definitely not. But there's a slight hesitation there for letting me put it in Simba, which we kind of see, hence why I'm going to put it to you. Also, this is a little bit out of time. The live and the stream is a little bit out of time. So what else? I'm trying to think if there's any particular scores in there that would make it stand out for a Simba. I don't think there is. It was definitely Doomsday that started that, with the albums coming out. And so without Doomsday track, you wouldn't have that. So it's not necessarily anything from the first series that made it come out. Okay, I'm going to go with my gut. I'm also going to get a different pen because this one's slowly running out of ink. I'm going to put this in Aristocat tier, and this is the final episode to go in Aristocat tier. And to be fair, it's going with some quite strong stories. So here it goes, Aristocat, and our first Christopher Eccleston one. Already regretting putting it in this tier, but that's it. It's locked in. It's staying. There it is. It's locked in Aristocat tier. Oh my gosh. So we have our first 5 episodes in that tier. Oh, you know what? I think we need another trivia question. Let's go into the fairs of all knowledge. Because that's just... I think we do like another 2 episodes before we go for trivia, but that one stymied me a lot. Oh gosh, there's 2. I keep picking out 2. I don't want to keep picking up 2. Oh, and just what we were talking about, an empty child question. And this is also linked to cats, because this is just after the Doctor has placed a cat back in the alley. He finds a kitten in a rubbish bin. So it is linked to cats. So, in the empty child, who tells the Doctor not to answer the phone? In the empty child, who tells the Doctor not to answer the phone? And this is the very first time that we hear the TARDIS phone ring, because the Doctor says, you're a phone that's not a phone, how can you be ringing, and this is just after he has landed in the Blitz, in London Blitz, and he's just seen the stage show in the London club. So yeah, lots there. Very good episode. That is one of my all-time favourites. Okay. I'm going to go for another one. There's 2. Right. Oh, it's another black one. Is it David Tennant or is it Christopher Eccleston? It is. Series 1. I know someone who's going to absolutely love this. Series 1, Episode 3. The Unquiet Dead. The one with Charles Dickens in. Okay, Aristocat is full, so I can't put it in there. Oh, okay, because I know my mum's gonna want it in Simba level, and she's not gonna be happy if I don't put it in Simba level because she's a massive Mark Gatiss and Charles Dickens fan, and she loves ghosts as well. Okay, so what makes it a good episode? Some brilliant comedic lines in it, and it shows Ten, who doesn't really care, or he does care, but he has that down-to-earth nature that I think we all love the Doctor for. So they've just come out of the theatre, and Rose has been kidnapped, and she's been taken off to the mortuary. Doctor's trying to find a carriage. He gets in. Charles Dickens comes in, and he's most affronted. It's like, would you buy? This is by coach, or something. And the Doctor just drags him in. He's like, well, get in then. And they go racing through Cardiff. And then they have this talk, and it's just, and it's revealed, oh, you're Charles Dickens. Like, yes. These Charles Dickens. Yes. And it's, oh, you're a brilliant writer, you're fantastic, Signalman, best short story ever written. And then the coach driver turns to him and says, do you want to throw him out, sir? It's like, no, I think he can stay, so that line, that conversation, and I don't think it's ever fully repeated with any other of the writers that come on board in Doctor Who, but it's just something very down to earth, very humble, but it's also a typical fan interaction, or what should be a typical fan interaction, because the Doctor also doesn't pander to him too much. As in, he does say, oh, that padding bit in Martin Chuzzlewit, what was that about? Like, I thought you were my biggest fan. Like, well, if you can't take criticism. And again, it's just an awesome scene. So I really like that. I thought Eve Miles does a very good job as Gwen. Very good. The graphics at the time were quite scary. I remember it being shown constantly on, hey, look, you can buy this TV from this shop. And I remember they kept putting that scene on repeat where the corpse is going through the town, and you just see her screaming, just, ah, and then all the elements are flying out of her. So, okay, down points. What would be the down points of it? And I can hear my mum saying, there aren't any, it's amazing. Has ghosts and Victorian writers in it. It's amazing. So I probably wouldn't put it in Simba, only because Blink, if that were to come up, has a very good gothic level. If Aristocatia had not been filled up, then I would have definitely popped it in Aristocatia. So I think this might have to go in an Oliver tier, just because it's at the very start of Series 1, and it's the very start of the series in general, and these episodes tend to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more laid back than the rest of the series, which are usually ranked up. So I'd say that was probably, like I said, if Aristocats wasn't filled, I'd put it in Aristocat tier, but because that's already filled, I'm going to put this in Oliver tier. Where did I put my pen? I put my pen somewhere. There we go. Don't put your pen away. I honestly don't know where I took my pen. So that's going in Oliver tier. Actually, this stream's going quite quickly. I was expecting it to last a bit longer. So I need to talk about more Doctor Who. So, okay, so we still have 3 slots left in Simba. We have 3 slots left. No, we don't. I tell a lie. We have 2 slots left in Simba. We have 3 slots left in Oliver and 4 slots left open in Figaro. So, where is the next episode falling? What have we got here? We've got an orange. Aha, we have another orange. Knock Knock. Again, it's a Peter Capaldi. And again, I can't remember this one. I'm going to have a quick IMDb because I really can't remember that one. So that's kind of already telling me I think that should be a an Figaro tier. Smile, remember Smile, knock. Oh, it's the one with David Suchet. Okay. And he was very good in it. This was just after he stepped down from his role in Poirot. And yes, because it's his mum, isn't it? It's his mum and he plays a little boy. Or he reacts like a little boy to something. And it's a very well played scene and it was very different from Poirot. I'm a big Agatha Christie fan. I loved David Suchet's interpretation of Poirot. I think he did a wonderful job. Wonderful job as Poirot. Because it is a very good episode. It's just a shame I can't remember it very well. So, would that be enough to put it in Figaro or in Oliver? Because I can't remember it. I had to look it up. But then when I remembered it, I remember David Suchet more than the actual episode. So that's a tough one. Because am I judging it purely on the actors? Or do I judge it on the storyline? Because I can't remember the storyline. But I just remember David Suchet being exceptional in it because he is a very good actor. And it was his first role since stepping down as Poirot as well. And he is brilliant as Hercule Poirot. Slight dig at Kenneth Branagh, but is so much better than the Fox interpretations. Because he really did get Poirot, but obviously this is not about Poirot, it is about that. Okay. Oh. What would I say? Figaro or Oliver? I'm going to list it in Figaro, only because I can't remember what happens in the episode. If I could, then I would obviously put it in Oliver because of David Suchet. David Suchet, yes, he's definitely higher than Figaro, but because I can't really remember the story that much, I'm going to put this down in Figaro. Okay, so we now have another one in Figaro. So Oliver and Figaro have 2 each. Aristocats is full, and we have 2 more entries left for Simba. Now I'm going to go and we'll do one more, and then we'll talk about. Yeah, okay, that one was already in my hand. Xmas special, Last Christmas. This is a Peter Capaldi one. So this is with Nick Frost as Father Christmas. I rewatched this one recently. Oh, would I say that's a good Christmas special? Would I say it's an enjoyable Christmas special? Because I am going to rank the Doctor Who Christmas specials as well in a Christmas special, obviously, in December. Oh, so what can I remember from it? Yes, because it's based on Alien. It's referencing Alien because Alien, I think Stephen Moffat said it was like the Christmas film that you go and sit down and you watch with your family. And that's why he referenced it. It's a good story in as much as The Sleepers, because the Doctor's being taken to the North Pole. Clara's there, so this is just after Danny Pink's died. Because I think it was rumoured that Clara was meant to step down at this point, and they already introduced the latest companion. Would I class it as a typical Christmassy episode? We have Father Christmas in there, who's played by Nick Frost. You do have elves. You do have Christmas films, because I think there was a couple of other references as well. I want to say something like Indiana Jones and The Great Escape, maybe? Or I might be making it up. But Alien is definitely an inspiration for Last Christmas. There are better ones by Stephen Moffat, so I'd say A Christmas Carol has probably the most Christmassy feel to it, because it definitely plays into the Victorian Christmassy. Would I say it's a Figaro level? Possibly not. I'd be more confident putting this in Oliver than the other 2 episodes that we've had so far. So I'm going to put that in an Oliver tier just because it is a good episode, it's a good story, but I wouldn't necessarily say it isn't a Christmas special where I would want to go back to on Christmas. Say something like, I'd say that this previous Christmas special, The Church on Ruby Road, has a nice Christmassy feel to it. And I'd have put that higher. But this one, I'll put this in Oliver because it's a good episode. It just doesn't necessarily make me think of Christmas and Doctor Who. It's not a Christmas special that I would actively go and watch. Oh, do we have time for one more before I go and grab a drink? Because there's also something that I want to show you guys that has a link to this week's episode, or sorry, yesterday's episode, Boom. And I really want to go and get that because I was very lazy and I forgot to get it out. So I might have to go digging for it in a minute and then I can show you. Okay, what do we have here? We have another black one. Series 4, Episode 1, Partners in Crime. So this is the episode with the adipose. And this is where Donna and the Doctor are reunited. And it also is the first sighting with Rose. Okay, so it's an opener. It's okay as an opener. It does what it needs to do. Is it my favourite opener? No. No, my favourite is the 11th hour. I don't think any opening episodes of Doctor Who have topped the 11th hour so far. You have that awesome scene between the Donna and Doctor, sort of, it's you, through the glass windows. Yes, I can see that. This is brilliant. It's a very, very well timed, very comedically well performed episode. And this shows the comedic training of Catherine Tate and David Tennant. Very good in that sense. Miss Foster's an okay villain. Adipose are quite cute, but they're okay. I wouldn't rave about them. For comedic timing, for that scene alone, I would have put it in Aristocats or Simba. For that scene between Donna and the Doctor and them meeting again. And also Wilf when they fly. Oh, Wilf. Oh, this might push it up into Oliver for me then. Because I was going to put it in Figaro because it's a season opener that I do enjoy, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was the best one. But then you have Wilf when he looks up at the stars and he sees Donna and the Doctor and he's like, yes, yes, go get him. And it's Bernard Cribbins and it's Wilf. Everyone loves Wilf. Oh no, it's another one. It's another one that I'm... Because Oliver's now ranking up quite quickly. Oh, what do we put it in? What do we put it in? Oliver or Figaro? Figaro or Oliver? So my gut reaction initially was, oh, it's a Figaro episode. It's one that is good, but one that I don't necessarily care about. But then, would I watch that over, say, something like Fear Her? Fear Her is... I really don't like Fear Her at all. But there are elements in this that are stronger that, okay, we'll put this in Oliver just because of David Tennant and Catherine Tate's chemistry. It is exceptionally well done. And Wilf watching Donna fly away in the TARDIS and she's waving with him, or she's waving to him. He's like, that's it, girl, go on, you go. Because that's his thing. Yeah, all right, we'll put that in Oliver. So we have one more left for the Oliver tier. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to take a 5-minute break just so I can grab some water, run and grab this thing that I want to show you because it's really cool and I'm quite proud of it as well. And it is linked to Boom as well. So I'm going to log off for about 5 minutes. So it's 25 past 5 now, so I should be back by about 5:30. So go to the bathroom, grab snacks, grab something to eat, grab a drink, and I will see you in a jiffy. Bye. Well, not bye, just see you in a bit. Okay, we are back. I now have a hot drink, and I also have the thing that I wanted to show you that is linked to, boom. Okay, so about, be longer than 10 years, so about 13 years ago, say, Stephen Moffat was organising big Doctor Who events. So you had WhoCon out in America, and you had the live Doctor Who live show. I was very, very lucky and managed to go to the Doctor Who live show up at Wembley Arena. So anyway, waiting for everything to get started. No, was it the... No, I tell a lie. It was during the interval. So I was chatting to my mum on the phone. I went with my dad. Sat with my dad and I was talking to mum on the phone. I was blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden that person looks very, very, very familiar, who is standing in the bottom row to us. That looks like Stephen Moffat. That's because it is Stephen Moffat. So I literally just passed my phone to my dad, ran out from the row, ran down and was just eagerly waiting. And it was, oh my gosh, it's Stephen Moffat. Oh my gosh, it's Stephen Moffat. What do I say? What do I say? I had all these things in my head, and I gave him my programme, which I'll show you in a minute. And all I could say was, hello, Stephen. Thank you very much for making Sherlock. I'm really enjoying it. And ran back to my seat. And this is that programme. I don't know if you can see, because it's reflective. There we go. That's probably, but that is Stephen Moffat signed programme. And there was a rumour going around that Matt Smith was there as well. He was in Stephen Moffat's row. He just had a cap on and stuff, but apparently he was there. I don't know. I can't remember seeing him in that row. But yes, that is my programme from Doctor Who Live, signed by Stephen Moffat, who I said thank you very much for making Sherlock, because it had just aired. And it got me into reading Sherlock as well. So yeah, but if you never saw the Doctor Who live experience, it was very good. It was like a pantomime, and it was starring Nigel Planer. So let's see if I can get that round. Nigel Planer, that guy there, which if you know British comedy, you will recognise him as Neil from The Young Ones. He starred in it. I think he was kind of like a professor who wanted to discover the Doctor or something. It starred him. Matt Smith was on the screens, and then you had all these different Doctor Who villains coming out, or Doctor Who characters. So Liz Ten came out running. I think the Clockwork people were there, and it was a really, very, really, really good performance, or very good stage production. I think Winston Churchill was in it as well. But the thing that I remember the most is Stephen Moffat, and as an individual, I'm very, very, very shy, very, very quiet. It takes me a lot to say hello to people and stuff, and it would take me a lot to just go, oh my gosh, it's you. But when I saw Stephen Moffat at Doctor Who, it was just, I'm going to say hello. I'm going to go get him to ask him to sign this because there's hardly anyone there. And I did. And I managed to go up and say hello. And thank you for making Sherlock. Not, oh, thank you for writing Doctor Who. Thank you for Blink or anything. No, thank you for writing Sherlock. So that is my little memorabilia from the Doctor Who live experience that was signed by Stephen Moffat, who was in attendance, with or with not Matt Smith. I would love to actually know if he was there, but apparently he was sitting about 2 chairs away from where Stephen was sitting. So I think Stephen was on the edge, and apparently Matt Smith was about 2 or 3 chairs away from him. And yeah, so apparently he was there. If anyone can confirm that would be really cool. Because I kept seeing, is he there? Is he there? And then I was kicking myself. Why didn't I see Matt Smith? But he was in a disguise. So whilst we're getting back from our quick refreshment run, why don't we do another trivia question? This one is, okay. So it's going back to an episode to which we have already discussed. Which era of the Cybermen was Bill Potts upgraded to? So which era of the Cybermen was Bill Potts upgraded to? And this is in the Peter Capaldi episode that is currently in the Aristocats, or is in the Aristocats, and will remain in that tier. The Doctor falls, and Bill Potts is upgraded to a Cyberman by the Master and Missy. So which era of Cyberman do they change her to or upgrade her to? So are we talking about New Who, or are we talking about Old Who? And if you remember the episode, you will know which era that is in. And let's go for another episode. Ooh, which one's this? Ooh, it's a 15. The Church on Ruby Road, season 1. I don't know if you can see that because there we go. There, The Church on Ruby Road. So this is the very first episode from Ncuti Gatwa. It's also one of the very first Christmas Doctor Who specials that we've had in a very, very, very long time, because they'd been changed to, I think, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So where are we going to put our very first full Ncuti Gatwa appearance? This was also the first time that we met Ruby as well, the new companion. Okay. I really like this one. I really like the episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it when I saw it on Christmas Day. And there were just moments in it that were, yeah, the Doctor's back. The Doctor is back. Especially when the Doctor finds the policeman and he's going to the TARDIS. And it was very much, the Doctor is back in the house sort of thing. And I really enjoyed it. The song I wasn't so keen on with the Goblins. Baby did it better than beef. I think the lyrics were by Russell T Davies, whilst the melody was by Murray Gold. And it was it is a good Christmas special. Would I put it in Simba? No. No, I wouldn't put it in Simba. I still loved it, I still enjoyed it, and it opened the door for the Doctor again to come through. So would I put it? Definitely wouldn't put it in Figaro. Definitely not. Because Ncuti Gatwa brought the Doctor back, and Russell T Davies created a brilliant, brilliant script. And I do like Ruby as a companion as well. I think she's a brilliant companion. She's a very strong companion. I'm just going to grab a drink. Hang on. What Disney mug do we have today? Because yesterday we had 101 Dalmatians. Today we have Oswald. But it's kind of in a TARDIS blue mug. That's still really, really hot. So, would I put this in Oliver tier? I'm probably going to put it in Oliver tier. But it has opened the door up for, yeah. You know, it is Oliver, because we can't put it in Aristocats, because that tier is now full. But it's opened the door for what is the story arc for this season. Sorry, not series. It's now known as a season for this season. So we know that Ruby was left outside a church on Christmas Eve, and it was snowing. And the snow has been coming through the series, or season so far, sorry. And John Williams, was it the chime of the bells there? Ding da da ding ding da 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 da, has been playing, and that's the song that lives in Ruby's heart because she was abandoned. And then we've had the woman in the cloak staring at the Doctor and doing that. And from my reviews as well, if you've seen the reviews, you know that my theory is that Ruby is leaving herself outside of the church, and I think she's going to be a little bit like Lister from Red Dwarf, where there is no father in her creation sort of thing. It's just her, and she has to go back and leave herself outside of the church. How that feeds into the one who waits theory and the possible, you know, connections between God and the devil. But this is going to go in Oliver, because it's not the... It's still a strong Christmas episode, but I wouldn't put it in Simba. I wouldn't put it as a Simba tier list. So with that, That is now Oliver tier. Done. We are locked. Oh my goodness. So Oliver tier is now completed with season 1, The Church on Ruby Road, Xmas special Last Christmas with Peter Capaldi. I thought I put that in Figaro, never mind, but that's in Oliver tier. The Woman Who Lived is in Oliver tier because you had quite a prominent thing. Partners in Crime is also in Oliver tier. And The Unquiet Dead, which my mum has said, why is that in Oliver tier? That should be in Simba Plus tier. That should be in like the A+++ tier. But yep, so Church on Ruby Road is with some very strong episodes. Okay, so now that's full. That just leaves Figaro and the Simba tier. So depending on what episodes we pick up next. Oh, this is going to make a very, very interesting few things. I'm going to pick out one more trivia question because I'm now sort of very nervous as to where the rest of these episodes are going. Because once they're locked in, they ain't moving. Okay, so I've already seen one so far. Can you name the famous authors who have appeared in New Who? Now, on the internet, they're saying that there's 5 famous authors, but I wouldn't necessarily count them as a author or a writer. But if you know who I'm referring to, then you will get a bonus answer. But there have been 4 famous literacy figures in New Who. So this is from Christopher Eccleston's era right up to Jodie Whittaker. Can you name the 4 that have made an appearance in New Who? You've already seen one, and he's already in one of our tier lists. Can you name the other 3? And they're all exceptional writers, and they've all made a big wave within the literacy realm. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, put that there. Okay, so let's go back to our tier list. Oh my goodness. It's actually gone very, 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 very quickly. We still have like another 2 hours left to go. Might just have to do another challenge or something at some point. Okay. I have an episode. Which one do we have? We have a Peter Capaldi. Xmas special Twice Upon a Time. This is actually a really good one. Why did I put Last Christmas in Oliver tier? Because this is... dang, I think I've shot myself in the foot because I don't want to put this in Figaro, but I can't move it because once they're all in, they're locked. Oh, because this also has Mark Gatiss in. This also features the first Doctor, who is now played by Argus Filch actor. I think it's William Bradley. I'll double check that because you know who he is. He's also appeared in The End of the World as the old man who drinks a crazy straw. And he's very good as a Doctor. And this is a really good Christmas special. Why did I put Last Christmas in Oliver tier? It should have been in Figaro tier. And I don't want to put this in Figaro tier because this is my favourite. And this is a very good Peter Capaldi episode. And this is where he regenerates into Jodie Whittaker. Does he? Did he regenerate? Oh yeah, he does start to regenerate in this one. Oh dang, because I don't think it's Simba level. But I really don't want to put it in Figaro level, and I really want to leave Simba level open for as long as I can. But. Because I would also argue I wouldn't put this in Aristocat level. Really don't want to put it in in Figaro lit tier. It's the only one I don't want to put it in. But do I think it could be Simba worthy? As a Christmas special, or as a Peter Capaldi episode, I do think it's very strong. There's some good lines in it, and it's set on Christmas. It's full of snow, and it's was Stephen Moffat's final one. And I do think, again, this was a Peter Capaldi episode at his best. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I love my mug too. Sorry, I just glanced at the comments that yes, I love the mug too. It's one of my favourites. And even better because I found it in the sale. Twice Upon a Time. And I can't really put this in a I don't know pile because we don't have that. And we're not going to start having a Sergeant Tibbs tier either. Maybe we should have done a Sergeant Tibbs tier from 101 Dalmatians. Okay, well, seeing as I can't really remember what happens in it, I'm going to have to put it in Figaro because I can't really remember what happens. I just remember the setting, and I remember Mark Gatiss being in it, and I remember that it is set in a timey-wimey, but I will have to put this in Figaro because I don't think it's Simba tier worthy. I don't think it's Figaro worthy either, but once they're in, they're in. Dang, that was hard. I'm now regretting some of my Oliver choices. Should have put Last Christmas in Oliver. In Figaro, sorry. Right. Okay, what have we got here? What have we got? We've got another black one. DT Special, Planet of the Dead. Oh, this is definitely a Figaro. That's been the easiest Figaro so far. It's not Austen. It's not Austen, but you were right with Dickens, but Jane Austen is not one of the literacy figures. H.G. Wells is in it. However, he is a Colin Baker literacy figure. So I'll give you a bonus point for that. But H.G. Wells crops up in Colin Baker. But we're looking for the 4 literacy figures that have been in New Who. So this is from Christopher Eccleston to Jodie Whittaker. Okay, Planet of the Dead is absolutely Figaro. The only saving grace of it is Lee Evans. Lee Evans is just adorable in it. I think that's the best way to describe it. And he says the thing that I think all 10 lovers were saying, as in, I love you. I love you. And we do. I just adore Lee Evans in this. The rest of it could not stand Lady Michelle. And she's too much like every other assistant, as in she's like, oh, you bad boy. Oh, and it's... yes, Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley does feature in it. So you've got 3 right. You got 3 right so far. No, 2 right for it being in New Who, and then a bonus for H.G. Wells. But yes, Mary Shelley does feature in it. So yes, I just don't like this one at all. And it was just after David Tennant finished in Hamlet, and he kind of just lost his way a little bit with the Doctor role. So this is an easy Figaro. Minus Lee Evans. Lee Evans should have been an a companion. Oh, okay, so we have one more. Dang, we're nearly done. We're nearly done with our tier list. We have 5 on Aristocats, 5 in Oliver, 4 in Figaro, and we have 3 in Simba. So we're very nearly at the end. Oh my gosh, that's gone quite quickly. I thought it would be a little bit longer, but we've actually gone through the episodes quite quickly and through the questions quite quickly as well. Oh, we've only had 1 Matt Smith so far. Only had 1 Matt Smith. Oh, there we go. I think I found a Matt Smith. We're going to go for a Matt Smith because we've only had 1 of him so far. Which one's this one? Series 7, Episode 11, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. I think this will be our final Figaro. So, yeah, our final Figaro, which is then going to be, okay, what on earth is going to end up in Simba? Series 7, Episode 11, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. Yeah, it's okay, but this was definitely the season where I started to dip from Doctor Who a bit. The Impossible Girl storyline just never felt satisfactory for me. It was never fully explored, and it was the same with Danny Pink when they brought in Danny Pink, and it was all the marketing for it was saying, oh, Danny Pink will be one of the most important characters in New Who. He'll be a very important character for the Doctor. And yes, arguably he was an important character to Clara, but I wouldn't class him as the most important person. And I would say the same for Clara. Clara wasn't the most important character, even though she did play a vital role in the story of the Doctor leading up to the 50th. I wouldn't say that she left a huge impression on me, unfortunately. So I would put this in Figaro. I'm trying to remember what happens in it other than... Oh gosh, the light's going again. It's overheating. Right. We're down to mood lighting again, people. We're down to mood lighting. So I would say that, yes, we have now filled up our Figaro tier list, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Oh, I'm now nervous for Simba. So for Simba, we have Midnight, The Power of the Doctor, and The Giggle. If I were to have my own personal Simba list, it would definitely be The Empty Child, Blink, Turn Left with the alternate dimension with Donna. That would be in there as well. Other ones. A Giggle. Yeah, I would say Giggle should be in there as well. And Heaven Sent. I would say that would definitely be a Simba list, because it's taking the Doctor out of territories that even we're familiar with, and it's placing both the audience and a Doctor in a strange environment. And it's a villain who's not necessarily a villain as well, which is also really, really cool. So, before we go into the final 2 episodes, which I'm really nervous of, I don't know what's going to... I can live with Love and Monsters being in there. If that were to come out, I could live with that being in Simba tier. Because I do like it. It's very bad, it's very cheesy, but it's not meant to be a sort of classically directed or produced episode. It's meant to be cheesy, it's meant to be silly. And there are some funny lines in it. It's also very sad. And yeah, so I'd be quite happy if that was to be in Simba, but oh, if Fear were in it. Oh no. Oh no. That just would not be good. Oh, I'm stalling and hesitating because I'm very nervous about this. So yes, if you would like to make a donation, because I haven't really mentioned it or pointed it out, you can see on the template, the Just Giving page. So the aim is to raise £100 for the cat's protection. £90 of that will go towards one cat's veterinary care. And £10, the rest of it can probably be used for extra food, extra blankets, extra toys, etc. And every single donation counts. Even if you can only spare 50p or £1, that would go to help these cats and kittens that are in care and need help and assistance. And if you are unable to contribute, which I completely understand, then just by being here it means so much. So thank you for joining me on this live stream for this Doctor Who. It's been really fun talking about Doctor Who and sort of reminiscing and going back and going, right, okay, do I remember that one? Do I remember that one? Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. No, unfortunately, he's never been in Doctor Who. Unfortunately, I think he would make a very good guest star, especially if it could be written by either Mark Gatiss or Stephen Moffat, because their writing style is very similar to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and obviously they produced and wrote Sherlock, so they're kind of the expert on it, but unfortunately he's never been in it. So we still need, so we've got Charles Dickens, Mary Shelley, we still need two more, and there's apparently another one. Oh, I'm nervous. Can you tell? Right, it's another black one. It's better be a good one. It's better be. It's going to be Fear, isn't it? World War Three. Actually, I'm quite happy with that being in a in a Simba list. Is it Simba worth? Is it Simba quality? CGI, no. Storyline, probably not. It's about the Slovene and farting aliens, but it has some very good lines in it. I thoroughly enjoy watching it. Every time I see it, I still get something out of it. I really enjoy it, and it's not the best episode. It's not designed to be the best episode. It's just meant to be a family fun romp, and that's the best way to describe it, because there's something there, I think, for everyone. And if you're a younger family, or you have a family with younger children, sorry, that's the best way, and you want them to get into Doctor Who, this is the kind of perfect episode to get into. Because the Slovene, when you step back and think about it, they're actually quite dark aliens. They use people's skins. So they're killing people or unaliving them. Sorry, I don't want to get demonetized or have this stream stop, but their methods for using the human skins are quite grotesque. And despite the fact that it's quite comical, you know, you have them lifting up their hairline and unzipping, and then you have the sort of sun lamp light coming through. It's actually quite a dark survival technique. So yes, I'm quite happy. I'm quite relieved that has made into the Simba tier. Again, is it worthy of it? No. But is it entertaining? Heck yes. Do I enjoy it? Absolutely. I love the Slovene. I also love Boomtown. I think Boomtown has one of the best scenes between the Doctor and a villain. So the Doctor takes Margaret out for her final meal before they send her or take her back to Raxacora Falabatorius, where she will receive the death sentence. And the Doctor and Margaret have this, what can only be described as a chess-like match between the two, and the Doctor is always 2 steps ahead of Margaret. And it is a really clever scene. Again, very well written, very well directed. Christopher Eccleston just shines in it. So that is the reasons why, yes, I'm very happy that that is in Simba. Okay. We now have one final episode to put into the tier list. Drum roll, please. It's a blue episode. It's series 5, episode 2, The Beast Below. Stephen Moffat doesn't like this episode. A lot of people don't like this episode, but I actually really like it. And I don't mind that being in Simba level either. So why do I like it? I think the set is awesome. Matt Smith did a remarkable job, and let's not forget that Matt Smith had enormous shoes to fill. It wasn't just, oh, he's taking over a role. He was stepping in after David Tennant, and David Tennant won more or less every single Doctor Who favourite ranking. It was always David Tennant and Tom Baker, David Tennant, Tom Baker, David Tennant, possibly Christopher Eccleston, and then Tom Baker. They were always in there. And Matt Smith had very big shoes to fill, and he did it. And he did it very quickly. And The Beast Below shows that from that episode. The Smilers, the concept of the Smilers, I do still find quite confusing. I don't really know why they're there. They're very clever makeup design, very good design, very Stephen Moffat. I also like the nod to Magpie Electricals, which was featured in the Idiot's Lantern from Series 2. That was a Mark Gatiss written episode. So I did like that little nod, that there was, you know, references to old Who in there. It's a very sad episode as well, with the star whale being tortured to keep the planet going. But I still enjoy it. It's one of those episodes very similar to World War III, where I go back to it and I enjoy it and I still get something out of it. Okay, it's still not perfect, and Stephen Moffat would argue that it's definitely not perfect. This is his least favourite episode of Doctor Who that he's written. But for a second episode for Matt Smith, he did a great job. Amy is good in it as well. I enjoyed Amy's performance, and also the going down into the slide and going into the whale's digestive system is still a very good scene. And there's a heart in it as well. I love Liz Ten's story, and she wears a mask and goes round the ship with it. And yeah, so that's actually, it's not the tier list that I was hoping for. I will say that. I was hoping that, you know, Vincent and the Doctor would crop up. Obviously Blink would crop up because that is one of my favourite episodes. Heaven Sent would be there, you know, a lot more. But I'm actually relieved. That was a lot better than I was hoping. So it's, oh no, it's going to be a random episode that I can't remember. And I can't properly criticise it or give constructive criticism. So, our tier list, because we've now run out of episodes. I'm still waiting for a few answers to come through on the quiz. So you still have time, by the way. I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to go over the tier list, and then that will be it. We're done for this stream. That's gone by very, very quickly. I was expecting it to be a little bit longer. Okay, so this is another cat-tied question. So what is the name of the religious order that the cat nuns belong to? So what is the religious order that they belong to? And you'll remember the cat nuns from New Earth and from Gridlock. From New Earth, where they try and kill the Doctor, and then from Gridlock, where they are looking after the face of Bo. But what is the name of the religious order that they are a part of? To be honest, I'd completely forgotten when I was looking up these questions. Like, really? Is that it? Is that it? I will also reveal the answers at the end of the stream. So let's go over the episodes again. So in Simba tier, we have The Power of the Doctor, Jodie Whittaker's final episode. We have The Giggle with Neil Patrick Harris and that awesome dance scene. We love Neil Patrick Harris for that. Season 5, Episode 2, The Beast Below. Very good prosthetics, excellent set design, and excellent makeup. We also have Midnight, one of the best sort of stripped-back episodes of Doctor Who. Very good performance by Leslie Sharp and from David Tennant, of course. And we finally have World War III, which again isn't a great episode. It's not the greatest, but I still enjoy it, and it's perfect for getting younger fans into Doctor Who, younger sci-fi fans into Doctor Who, because they're quite a safe, cheesy villain. So I would say for that as well, it goes back to the core of what Doctor Who is, and essentially Doctor Who is an educational program for young families, and that's what it should be. That's what the heart is. That's what beats the heart of Doctor Who. So in our Aristocat tier, which is the top second tier, we have The Doctor Falls, Peter Capaldi's final one before his Christmas special. We also have the 50th anniversary, The Day of the Doctor, which included both David Tennant and Tom Baker. Very strong fan favourites of Doctor Who. We also have The Parting of the Ways, Christopher Eccleston's final episode as the 9th Doctor. He's very sorely missed. Series 4, Episode 9, Forest of the Dead, where River's Song is uploaded into the library's database. Very good episode, and it also introduced us to River's Song and that whole timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly thing. And finally, we have Army of Ghosts, the starter for the end of the two-parter Series 2 finale. That's actually quite a strong tier, Aristocat tier. I'd say that was probably stronger than the Simba tier. But Simba tier, we did run out of options because I was hoping that more or better episodes were coming through. So no. Okay, we're now on to the Oliver tier. I'd say this is probably the most mixed or most random one. So we have Last Christmas, which is Peter Capaldi's Christmas special. We have The Church on Ruby Road, which is Ncuti Gatwa's very first full-length episode as the Doctor. We have The Unquiet Dead with Charles Dickens, written by Mark Gatiss. We have the woman who lived with Maisie Williams. Some very poignant scenes in there. And finally, partners in crime with that infamous scene between the Doctor and Donna at the office, and then Wilf waving Donna off as she flies to the stars. And it was the very first appearance of Rose coming back as well, where she's waiting and she's watching the adipose with Donna saying, "Can you tell him that bin there?" And it turns around and you hear dun 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 dun, the first few notes of Doomsday playing. And now we are on to the Figaro test, the final tier of our list. There we go. So in this one we have Series 7, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. I actually really need to watch some of these because I can't remember them very well. The Planet of the Dead. Lee Evans saved this episode for me, otherwise it would have been even lower than Figaro. I would have made an exception and just put that even lower than Figaro. Knock Knock, which has David Suchet. David Suchet is magnificent in this. I just can't remember what really happens in it. Then you have the Battle of Ranskor Av Kolas, which is a Jodie Whittaker one. This is one where I got stuck on because I can't remember if I've actually watched it or not. I'm pretty sure that I have. I just can't remember what happens in it, which is not very good. And we also have the Christmas special, Twice Upon a Time, which should have been on Oliver tier. So Last Christmas should have been in Figaro compared to Twice Upon a Time, because that's actually one of my favourite Christmas specials. And the reason why I had to go in Figaro and not Simba is because I can't really remember what happens in that one. And yes, of course, I'll re-ask the questions before we close up the quiz. So first of all, we have, which era of the Cybermen was Bill Potts upgraded to? So there's a distinct look that she was changed into, and I'd personally say it's slightly more creepy of the various Cybermen that we've had. Oh, hang on. We could be right here. The Sisters of Plenitude. Yes, that is right. The cats, the religious order that the cats belong to is the Sisters of Plenitude. Well done. The next question is, what were the curator's parting words to the Doctor? So this is Tom Baker's role in the 50th anniversary. And he crops up more or less towards the end. And he is the curator and he says something to the Doctor. But what are his parting words to the Doctor? And it's a very poignant scene as well. And it was just before Tom Baker became quite ill. Bless him. So, yes. So he's not playing the fourth Doctor, he's playing the curator. So what were the parting words for the curator? Name the 4 famous authors who have been in New Who. So we already have 2, which is Mary Shelley and Charles Dickens. We're looking for the other 2. Both, if this helps, both of these writers were with 10. So they cropped up in 2 of 10's series, if that helps. So they haven't been with Christopher Eccleston, they weren't with Matt Smith, or with Jodie Whittaker, they were with David Tennant's Doctor. Oh, yep, we've answered that one, okay. In The Empty Child, who tells the Doctor not to answer the phone? This is just after the Doctor has landed in the London Blitz. And the TARDIS phone has just rung and we've caught the first sight of the empty child in the gas mask. Dun 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 dun. And then name the Queen music video that was referenced in the Christmas Invasion. And name the Queen song that is played at Amy and Rory's wedding. He is Reading Weddy. So these are 2 extremely infamous and popular Queen songs. The music video, yeah, if it's the one you're thinking of, it's more than likely that. If it's no, it can't be that one. No, they can't have referenced that one. It's too obvious. If it's the obvious one, it's more than likely that one. If you need me to repeat the questions again, let me know. I will give another few seconds and then I will reveal the answers. I'll let the stream catch up a bit because I'm a few seconds forward. So yeah, so again, very odd outcome of the episodes that were selected. I'm glad I did it via the hat and not via a Wheel of Fortune sort of thing, even though that could have been probably would have saved me a bit of time. However, it was just nice to go back to basics. And I have two cool hats. I also have, you know what? Because I was going to be, we won't ask all the questions because I'll probably run out of time. But you know what? I'm going to put the knowledge of Fez on, or the Fez of all knowledge, I should say. And I shall read out the rest of the trivia questions. So whilst we're going to get the answers for the other one, here are the rest of the questions. So what were the Ninth Doctor's final words? What were the Ninth Doctor's final words before he regenerated? It's not what you think, because I thought it was something, and then I rewatched the scene, and it's, oh, okay, he says that earlier on. That isn't his final words. It's part of his final scene, but it's not, or his final speech. They weren't his final words. So they're three words. Three words he says to Rose, and then David Tennant comes in, and David Tennant's is, new teeth. Weird. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, that's right. Barcelona. And then you have Ten's tenure. Okay, so this one's a bit of more recent. So, who made a jigsaw of the Doctor's history? Who says, I've made a jigsaw of your history? They also say, did you like it? Or do you like it? They have also featured in our tier list. At some point, this character who says this line, or has made the jigsaw, is in our tier list. So they have been there. Okay. So name the cat nun who cared for the face of Bo in Gridlocked. So this is just after New Earth, and the face of Bo is dying, and this is the episode where they die. This is also the episode where the Doctor talks about Gallifrey. I believe the first time in New Who that he sits down and actually talks about Gallifrey. But who was the cat nun who cared for the face of Bo? Do we think that the face of Bo is Jack? I personally don't think so, but I think it was a nice nod. I don't know what happens to Jack. Don't know what would happen to Jack, because obviously he can never die. And I don't think he died at the end of Miracle Day. That was it. So I didn't really watch Miracle Day. I think I got up to 2 episodes and thought, no, this isn't Torchwood. No, it's still not Conan Doyle, I'm afraid. They're really... Okay, so they have also been mentioned in this chat, but not in a straightforward way, if that makes sense and if that helps. So the 2 authors have been mentioned, but not directly. Their works have. And finally, this is for all you Strictly pros out there. Which Strictly Come Dancing pros made a recent appearance in Doctor Who? Which Strictly Come Dancing pros recently made an appearance in Doctor Who? So, but that's also if you've seen the more recent episodes. So that's a clue for you there. Just going to have another drink, and then I'm going to reveal the answers to some of the questions. I'll probably do like the ones I asked earlier first, and then we'll do it that way. Okay. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Okay. So, this one is quite tricky, I will admit. So, which era of the Cybermen was Bill Potts upgraded to? And her look was from the 1960s Cybermen. So she had the square cut in her mouth, and then the heavy box. It's Nancy from The Empty Child. Yes, it is. Well done. So the person who tells the doctor not to answer the phone is Nancy. Well done. And thank you. I like wearing this fez as well. The 11th doctor was right. Fez is cool. Okay. So what was... Okay. Name the Queen music video that was referenced in the Christmas Invasion and the Queen song that is played at Amy and Rory's wedding. So the music video was Bohemian Rhapsody, that was referenced in the Christmas Invasion, and the song that the Doctor dances to at Amy and Rory's wedding is Crazy Little Thing Called Love. So, which is one of my favourite Queen songs. Okay, so what were the creators' parting words to the Doctor? Who knows? Were the last things that the creator said to the Doctor. Because he's talking about, you know, if I were you, but then I could be. But then you could be me. Who knows? Who knows? And I think it's an inkling that that is the Doctor, and he's picked a familiar face. So, right, we're going to go for this one. Name the 4 authors who have been in New Who. So we had Dickens, and we had Mary Shelley. The other 2 were William Shakespeare and Agatha Christie. They were the 4 authors that have been featured in New Who. Bonus answer for H.G. Wells, because yes, he has been in Doctor Who, but not in New Who. He travelled with Colin Baker. Now, I'm going to put this to you because I don't think they should be classed as an author at all. Because, no. But according to the internet, one site says that King James I was an author and should be considered as that in the lineup of authors. I don't agree with that. They are a monarch. He is a king, and that's it. He didn't actually write the Bible. He just, yes. So, anyway, before we go into history and wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff, yes, that is correct. The toy maker said, who made a jigsaw of the Doctor's history? And that was the toy maker. So they said, I made a history I made a jigsaw of your history, Doctor. Did you like it? And that was a very good scene, very good scene. I might have to watch that this evening. So we've already answered that. What is the name of the religious nuns? What else? What's one of the... Because these ones are quite new. Nancy, we got that one right. Who in The Empty Child tells the Doctor to not answer the phone. What were the 9th Doctor's final words? Originally, I would have said, fantastic. And he doesn't. He says, so was I. I thought he ended with fantastic, but no, his final words to Rose and to the audience were, so was I. You know what? So was I. So there we go. And which Strictly Come Dancing pros made a recent appearance in Doctor Who? They appeared in The Devil's Chord in the musical lineup. There's always a twist at the end. And it was Shirley Ballis and Johannes. They made their appearance in the episode 2 weeks ago now. And the final trivia question is, name the cat who cared for the face of Bo in Gridlocked. And it is, because I only remembered it this afternoon and I had to write it down. Where is it? I know I've written it. Novice Hane. Novice Hane was the nun who looked after the face of Bo. And that's it. We've come to the end of our live stream tier. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so sorry it was a little bit shorter than I had anticipated. I thought we'd be able to do the full 4-hour length stream, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed revisiting some of the episodes, talking about Doctor Who, and just kind of leaving it into fate's hands rather than sort of me picking them and saying, yes, this is worthy of that tier, that's worthy of that tier. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. There will be the cat coronation happening on Friday, where we'll be looking at the fantastic felines who will make up the Disney princess. So out of the feline community of Disney, who is the ultimate Disney princess, and that will be happening on Friday. And that will also be a pre-recorded video as well. And if you would like to make a donation for the cat's protection, there's still time, so please follow that link down there. Sorry, there we go, there. That link there. Yeah, so thank you so much. There will also be some more Dreamlight Valley videos coming up because a lot has happened in that game and I still need to find Oswald. There will be a Doctor Who review probably coming out on Tuesday because I need to write everything down, but I have made notes this time. I haven't done before because I get excited and just, oh my gosh, and then I forget things and then someone else brings them up in the comments and it's just, oh yeah, I should have really mentioned that because that was very important. So yes, so there are plenty of videos coming. Thank you so much again for joining me and for joining me yesterday. I've had a really good time live streaming and I hope to do it again soon. So anyway, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you very, very soon. Okay, take care, guys. Thank you. Bye. Geronimo. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.